Ah, the suckerfish. That's the common name we give these adorable fish. These fish are often used as algae eaters and come in many breeds. In fact, that L number system was created to identify all of them. With so many out there, it's hard to figure out what is best for your aquarium. That's why you'll want to stick around, because today at Aquarium Store Depot, you'll be delighted to meet the 15 most popular species of plecos there are in the hobby. It can be challenging to choose the proper pleco fish species for your tank because there are so many different varieties available. If you're not familiar with this species of fish, let me spend a little bit of time introducing them to you. The Loricariidae family of armored catfish includes plecos. In fact, plecostomus, the name of just one well-known fish from this group, is the root of the word pleco. From little fish that are around 3 inches long to enormous fish that reach lengths of over 2 feet, plecos come in a variety of sizes. Plecos, also known as the suckermouth catfish, are bottom dwellers who eat algae and other creatures that develop on driftwood and rocks. These fish are frequently observed in rivers with rapid currents where they congregate on rocks, dead trees, and other debris. They're nocturnal fish, which means that they're most active at night. Numerous plecos are excellent cleaner fish because they maintain the hardscape and aquarium glass free of algae. Of course, this does not imply that they're not in need of care and nourishment. Long-lived fish like plecos make fantastic pets and can live for more than 10 years. Can you imagine that? Since we both know that the beauty of plecos is what makes it unique from others, finding one to choose might be a little difficult. However, you don't have to worry because we'll be jumping to the different types one by one. Let's get to it with the first pleco on the list, the eye-catching bright yellow bristlenose plecostomus. Woo, that's a mouthful. Bristlenose plecos are one of the most popular pleco species in the hobby. The male bristlenose pleco grows interesting tentacles on his snout, which explains their common name. These peaceful plecos do great in a community tank, but it's best to keep just one because they can be territorial with their own species. These catfish are mostly vegetarian, so they should be fed algae wafers containing spirulina and supplemented with vegetables like zucchini and cucumber. Bristlenose plecos love to graze on wood, so make sure to provide plenty of driftwood at the bottom of the tank. Next on the list is the Zebra Plecostomus. Who would have thought an animal from the wild could fit right in your aquarium? The Zebra Pleco is an awesome little catfish with bold black and white stripes, just like its namesake. It's one of the smallest pleco species and can be housed in a tank as small as 15 gallons. Zebra plecos are a good choice for dedicated fish keepers looking to set up a single species tank. These fish need a combination of high oxygen and high water flow to really thrive. This kind of setup is pretty easy to achieve with an air stone, a small power head, and an aquarium heater. Sailing beautifully in your tank is our third fish, named the Sailfin Pleco. The Sailfin Pleco is easy to care for but requires a very large aquarium. These algae eaters can be identified by the prominent dorsal fin, which looks like a huge sail. Sailfin Plecos are often sold at just a few inches, but beware, they can grow to be well over a foot in length. These fish also require strong filtration because they generate a lot of waste. There aren't any particularly difficult or unique needs that you need to take into consideration, but that doesn't imply that you can neglect them. You need to provide them with a proper habitat due to their size. Fall in love with the Trinidad, our fourth pleco type on this list. Want to make your partner jealous? Introduce them Trinidad Pleco as the love of your life. The Trinidad Pleco is very similar to the common pleco and is often sold by that name. It is a large spotted pleco species that can be kept with smaller fish in a community tank, but should not be kept with other Trinidad Plecos. This is a good algae eater for larger tanks, but their diet should be supplemented with algae wafers to keep up with their voracious appetite. Going fifth on the list is the spotted Sailfin Plecostomus. The spotted Sailfin Pleco is a great fish for larger community tanks. These fish boast a huge dorsal fin just like the regular Sailfin Pleco, although they don't grow quite as large. Spotted Sailfin Plecos are also more boldly marked with golden spots. These plecos are peaceful fish that do a great job of cleaning algae in the aquarium. Like other pleco fish species, they prefer a tank with plenty of rocks and driftwood to graze on. Just like a mint, this next type of pleco will leave a sense of refreshment in your tank. Meet the Peppermint Plecostomus. The Peppermint Pleco has a dark body covered in small white spots. These spots extend onto the fins, making the fish almost look like a starry night sky. This nocturnal species is an omnivore that feeds mainly on algae. Peppermint Plecos prefer moderate to strong water flow with good aeration and rocks to shelter under. Peppermint Pleco thrive in aquariums that closely resemble their natural habitat. Strong currents and rocky terrain are essential for catching this species. Pebbles and small to medium-sized boulders make the ideal substrate choices. Avoid sharp rocks, because they can harm the sucker mouth of your Peppermint Pleco. It's not Year of the Tiger, but if you have Tiger plecostomus in your tank, you'll be lucky all throughout eternity. These exotic catfish have an interesting pattern of white stripes that contrast against their black body. Their large fins are also striped, so they're unique and eye-catching display fish. The Tiger Pleco is a small to medium-sized catfish that makes a great addition to a community tank. Their tank mates must be chosen carefully, however, because these fish require warmer water than most tropical fish. Tiger Plecos also need good water flow and a healthy, balanced diet. Going 8th, Clown Plecostomus. Clown Plecos are great for community tanks because they're very peaceful and stay pretty small. They're usually brown with golden stripes, but the species can be pretty variable. These fascinating catfish are omnivorous and they need plenty of driftwood to graze on and caves to shelter in. Clown Plecos are ideal for beginners, but it's best to keep just one to avoid any territorial aggression. Gold Nugget Plecostomus is another type of species you'll treasure having in your tank. The Gold Nugget Pleco is a spectacular species with a black body covered in bright golden spots. The top edge of the dorsal fin and tail are also gold, which makes for a very eye-catching bottom dweller. Gold Nugget Plecos can be aggressive towards other bottom dwellers, especially of their own species, so give a single specimen free reign over the bottom of your tank. Lord said we'll never be royals, but Royal Plecostomus is already one ever since the world began. The Royal Pleco is a large species with stripes that run from head to tail. These fish have a high back and a large head relative to their body. Royal Plecos are not difficult to care for, they just need plenty of space and driftwood to forage on. They should also be provided with balanced diet of sinking pellets, algae wafers, and frozen foods. Going 11th on the list is the Blue-Eyed Plecostomus. The Blue-Eyed Pleco is one of the rarest and most valuable Pleco species. This large and heavily armored catfish is a dark gray color with piercing blue eyes. These fish need plenty of space and driftwood to graze on and should not be kept with other blue-eyed plecos in the same tank. It's not a bird, it's not a plane, but it's actually a fish called the Butterfly Pleco. The Butterfly Pleco is a fascinating sucker fish with the ability to change its color. These fish will turn black if kept on a dark substrate, but show beautiful white stripes when kept over a light-colored bottom. This relatively small pleco prefers warm, well-aerated water. It is an omnivore that requires sinking tablets, algae, and frozen foods to stay in top condition. Have you already seen a combination of leopard and frog in one body? Well, be amazed with our 13th fish on this list. The leopard frog pleco is one of the best looking pleco species for smaller aquariums. These eye-catching algae eaters grow to just 4 inches, although they do best in a tank with plenty of space. Leopard frog plecos are very peaceful and make a great addition to most tropical community tanks. The richness and color of mango was adopted by this 14th fish on the list, called Mango Plecostomus. The Mango Plecostomus has a unique look. This species has a green body with a bold yellow border on the top of its dorsal fin and tail. Some specimens also have small yellow spots on their body and fins. Mango plecos prefer flowing water with plenty of hiding spaces and driftwood. They eat algae, but you should provide them with additional food in the form of algae wafers and vegetables like sweet potatoes. And for the last one we've all been waiting for, ladies and gents, meet the Green Phantom Plecostomus. The Green Phantom is a small pleco with an awesome appearance. These green catfish have huge shark-like dorsal fins and bright golden spots that fade towards the tail. Green Phantoms need strong water flow and excellent water quality to thrive in a home aquarium, so they don't make ideal fish for beginners. They feed on algae but should be provided with quality sinking pellets and wafers. Was that all we got? Of course, no. In fact, there are still other types of plecos in the hobby which you might fall in love with. Let's name them one by one on your screen. In the aquarium hobby, plecos come in countless varieties. These amazing aquarium fish might be found in up to 150 different species and 500 different types. Plecos make excellent cleaning staff fish for bigger aquariums. The majority of species will consume algae, but it's crucial to take care of them and give them a healthy diet. And since we already mentioned about keeping them healthy, it's time for us to know the steps and guidelines on how to take care of this adorable species. Where can you find all the answers? Well, only here at our official website. Just type this link in your browser at www.aquariumstoredepot.com. Search for this title on your screen and ta-da! You can now read fully detailed information about the ABCs in keeping your plecos healthy. Any suggestions? Want to share your stories about plecos? Comment down below, and we'll see through it that we can engage as much as we can. I hope you enjoy watching all these amazing catfish. See you once again, fish keepers. Thanks for watching.